Here are some more things you didn't know about Palia. Did you know that there are some quests that are hidden or secret that they won't show up as like an exclamation point for you to just pick up? The one here I have not actually tested. It's maybe just a rumor at this point, but I'm pretty sure it's a confirmed rumor that if you run around and talk to every single grave in the graveyard, you will get a special quest, but you have to talk to all of them. Maybe it hasn't triggered because I'm just missing one. But there's other things like a place to drop blueberries, there's letters in the world, there are quests that pop up once you activate them, but you wouldn't know about them because they don't just show up on the map as a quest. That also includes things like read every book in the game, because there are certain recipes you get from reading books or certain pieces of information you only get from reading the books. So it benefits you to touch absolutely everything that you can in the game. As I was flying over this location, I spotted a letter on the ground. As you can see, it doesn't say there's a quest there, but when I pick up the letter, it gives me a quest and a little bit of text. Where you can fast travel to depends on where you're fast traveling from. For example, I'm fast traveling from Bahari Bay, so I can only go to one Kilma location. However, if you're fast traveling from Kilma, you can only come to the central stables. So make sure you check the fast travel location where you're at to see if there's new places to fast travel to. This one is the most important. There is a max spawn rate as well as there is a maximum amount of things that can spawn in an area. For example, this cave, the Pallium that you want to get spawns in here. However, as you saw there, a regular rock spawned there, and then regular Pallium spawned everywhere else. Now, if I had just left these be, these would continue to be there. So that rock that's blocking the Pallium will continue to be in that location until you break that rock. So if you're hunting for certain resources and it's not there, make sure that you go through and you actually hit the things and break them so that the Pallium can then spawn in that location. This also goes for things like flow trees, for example. The more trees you cut down, the more chance you have of a flow tree being able to spawn, as well as proud horde hunting. If you're hunting the white deer, the teleporting special deer, it may not be able to spawn because there's too many deer in the area. So if you go through and cull some of the deer out, you have a higher chance of it spawning. Not saying it increases spawn chance, like it doesn't change whatever the rate is, like 5% chance of it spawning, but rather it physically cannot spawn if there's too many deer in the area. So as you hunt down the deer, it increases the chance that you're going to get that rare hunt. This final one, I'm a little bit guilty of myself, so a little bit of hypocrisy here, but Palia is an MMO, and as such, it depends on its community, and the more we build our community, the better off we are. There's this tendency, especially in games like this, where if you can't find something, you just immediately go to Google and say, hey, where do I find briar daisies? Where do I find heart drop lilies? And you run off to that location. When in actuality, you may be better off asking other players where do you find that, because they may have tips and tricks you haven't heard yet, and it's a great way to engage in the community and build that community interaction. Other MMOs like World of Warcraft Classic, for example, you had a reputation on the server. Who you were was known if you were active in the community and did things for the community. I know that Palia is very much trying to build that, and I know there's a lot of criticism that doesn't quite have the MMO elements in it as of yet, that there's not a lot of incentive to talk to other players, but it's important to remember that a part of that is also on us as the players and community. We need to be able to build that within ourselves as well. A lot of the tips I've given in other videos that I've made about Palia have come from the community, that when I asked a question about where do I find a fish, someone posted a tip about making sure to grill those fish to ensure that you get extra money out of every little bit that you get. Those little tips, things like that, are wonderful parts of engaging the community. So I encourage you as my final tip, don't just Google everything, don't just look up spreadsheets on how to build the best farm, don't just look up where every quest is at, but rather ask people and they may be able to share some knowledge with you that you don't know yet, and you in turn can give that to other people as well. If you've made it this far, I'd like to thank you for watching. I know it's a rather short video, but I think there's some important information in here. If you've gotten all the way to the end here, thank you so much. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. That does help me a great deal. Have a wonderful, blessed day, and we'll see you in Palia today.